Part 115. I thought my wife was just stressed. Turns out I had no idea what was really going on. Throwaway because a few people in my real life use Reddit. I'm 34M. My wife, Emily, is 32F. We've been together for almost 9 years, married for 6. For most of that time I genuinely thought we were solid. Not perfect, obviously. We argued like everyone else. Bills, work stress, whose turn it was to clean the kitchen, stupid everyday things. But I always thought we were on the same team. Emily has always had a sharp personality. That was part of what attracted me to her in the beginning. She was confident, sarcastic, quick with words. She could walk into a room and own it immediately. But over the years that confidence started turning into something harder. If she was angry, everyone knew it. If something annoyed her, she made sure you felt it too. And when she lied with a straight face so convincing it almost made you feel crazy. I didn't think of it that way at first. I just thought she was stressed. The problem started around 8 months ago. She changed jobs and suddenly everything became chaotic. New boss. Long hours. Random evening meetings. Team dinners. Emergency deadlines. At first I supported her. I picked up groceries more often. Took care of dinner. Tried to make life easier. But then weird little things started happening. She'd come home at midnight saying she was stuck at work, but her makeup looked freshly touched up. She started taking her phone everywhere. Not just normal, checking messages stuff. Bathroom? Phone. Taking trash out? Phone. Charging it at night? Nope. Under her pillow. She even changed her passcode. That one hit me weird. We'd always known each other's passwords. Never because we checked up on each other. Just normal convenience. Then one day I picked up her phone because mine was dead and I needed to call my brother. She walked in, saw it in my hand, and snapped instantly. "Why are you touching my phone?" Like genuinely aggressive. I remember freezing. I laughed awkwardly and said, "Relax. Mine's dead." And she just stared at me. Then she grabbed it and muttered, "Use the house phone." No apology. No explanation. Just cold. That night I barely slept. Something felt wrong. A week later she told me she had an overnight work training in another city. She packed fast. Didn't kiss me goodbye. Didn't even look up from texting while putting clothes into her bag. I asked where the hotel was. She sighed like I was being annoying. "Why does it matter?" I said I was just curious. She rolled her eyes and gave me some hotel name I didn't recognize. Then she left. A couple hours later I was making dinner and noticed she'd forgotten her laptop. That had never happened. She guarded that thing constantly. I figured she'd need it for work, so I called. Straight to voicemail. Texted. No reply. Half an hour later she finally called back. And she sounded irritated. Not relieved. Not grateful. Just irritated. I told her she forgot her laptop. She paused. Then said, "No, I didn't." I looked directly at it on the table. I literally said, "Emily, I'm staring at it." Long silence. Then, "Just leave it. I won't need it." That made zero sense. She told me this was mandatory work training. And she didn't need her laptop? I asked if everything was okay. And her tone changed instantly. Cold. Sharp. "Can you stop interrogating me for one night?" Then she hung up. I stood there holding my phone like an idiot. Feeling that weird sinking feeling in my stomach. I wish I could say I trusted my instincts immediately. I didn't. I spent the whole night trying to rationalize everything. Maybe she was overwhelmed. Maybe I was paranoid. Maybe marriage just gets weird sometimes. At around 11:40 p.m. I finally gave up trying to sleep and went downstairs for water. That's when I noticed her laptop screen had turned on. A message preview popped up. Just one line. From someone named Ryan. "Already miss you. Wish you'd stayed longer." And my whole body went cold. Part February 15th. The message on her laptop was only the beginning. For a second I honestly thought I was misreading it. I just stood there in the dark kitchen staring at her laptop like my brain had stopped working. Already miss you. Wish you'd stayed longer. Maybe coworker joke. Maybe team event. Maybe literally anything else. That's what I kept telling myself. My hands were shaking so badly I had to grip the counter. I knew opening her laptop would cross a line. And yeah, technically maybe it did. But after months of feeling like I was losing my mind, after that message, I opened it. No password. That somehow made it worse. Like she hadn't even considered I'd ever look. The message was from Slack. Ryan. His profile picture was just some guy in a suit leaning against a wall smiling like he knew exactly how attractive he was. I clicked. The first messages looked work-related. Deadlines. Clients. Meeting notes. Then farther down. Everything changed. Inside jokes. Late-night conversations. Flirting. Pictures from office lunches. Her calling him. The only person keeping me sane. Him replying. You looked incredible tonight. Her. You should have seen me before I left, winky face. I felt physically sick. I kept scrolling. And then I saw photos. Nothing explicit. But enough. A mirror selfie from our bedroom. The one with the blue walls I painted myself. Her dressed up. The same black dress she told me she wore to her cousin's birthday 2 months ago. Ryan replied, You're unreal. And she wrote, Worth the wait? Then him. Hotel was definitely worth it. That line hit harder than anything. Because she was supposedly at a work training that exact night. I checked the timestamp. 3 hours earlier. My chest felt tight. Like I couldn't breathe. I scrolled more. And found out it wasn't recent. It had been going on for at least 5 months. Maybe longer. She lied constantly. Work dinners. Client emergencies. Weekend meetings. Every weird moment I'd brushed off suddenly made sense. And the worst part? She talked about me. Like I was some inconvenience. Ryan asked once. Does your husband suspect anything? She answered. He notices things sometimes, but he's easy to calm down. Then, he always believes me eventually. That messed me up more than the cheating. Because she knew. She knew exactly what she was doing. And she knew how to manipulate me afterward. I sat there in silence reading while feeling like someone was peeling my life apart piece by piece. Then something even worse happened. Her phone buzzed. She had left that behind too. Apparently she'd grabbed the wrong charger and forgot the phone on our bathroom counter upstairs. I hadn't even realized. Screen lit up. Ryan again. Room 614. Front desk almost gave me away LOL. Then, you better not leave me hanging tonight. I don't think I've ever felt rage like that. My hands went numb. My ears started ringing. I grabbed my keys. No plan. No idea what I was going to do. I just knew I couldn't sit there. She'd given me the hotel name earlier. I searched it. 20 minutes away. And yes, it was real. I drove there shaking the entire way. My stomach turning. Heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. I kept thinking maybe this was still somehow wrong. Maybe I'd misunderstood. Maybe I'd walk in and feel stupid. But when I got there, her car was parked outside. And I nearly blacked out. Part March 15th. I saw her car outside the hotel, and everything got worse from there. The second I saw Emily's car in the parking lot, my brain stopped trying to make excuses. No more. Maybe. No more. You're overthinking. Her car was there. Exactly there. Parked under a lamp near the entrance. I just sat in my car staring at it with both hands gripping the steering wheel so hard my fingers hurt. Part of me wanted to drive away. Seriously. Pretend I never came. Go home. Sleep. wake up and somehow convince myself this wasn't happening. But then Ryan texted her again. Her forgotten phone lit up on my passenger seat. Come up. Stop teasing me. That was enough. I walked inside. My legs felt weird. Like I wasn't fully in my own body. Front desk was this older guy half watching TV. I didn't know what I was going to say. I just asked if Ryan was checked in. He immediately said he couldn't give out guest info. Fair. Then I did something desperate and stupid. I held up Emily's phone. And said, "My wife left her phone in the car." She texted me the room number but my phone died. "Can you tell me where she is?" He hesitated. Looked at the phone. Looked at me. Then finally. 6:14. My stomach dropped. I thanked him and went straight to the elevator. Every floor felt like forever. I could hear my heartbeat. I actually thought I might throw up. The hallway was quiet. Room 614 at the end. Door closed. TV noise inside. And laughter. Emily's laugh. That sharp, loud laugh she always had when she was genuinely amused. I froze. That sound broke me. Because she never laughed like that with me anymore. I stood outside for maybe 5 seconds. Maybe 10. Then knocked. Immediately quiet. Movement inside. Then Emily's voice. "Who is it?" I didn't answer. I knocked again. Harder. Then she opened the door. And I swear I'll remember her face forever. The instant she saw me. Pure shock. Like all the blood left her body. She was wearing jeans and one of my favorite sweaters on her. The one I'd bought her last Christmas. Ryan was behind her. No shirt. Holding a beer. Just standing there. Nobody spoke. For a second it was completely silent. Then Emily snapped first. And not with guilt. Not panic. Anger. "Why the hell are you here?" That actually stunned me. I looked at her and said, "Why am I here?" Ryan immediately backed up and muttered something like, "I should leave." Emily spun toward him. "No. Stay." Then turned back to me. And started lying instantly. Without even pausing. "This is not what it looks like." Classic. I laughed. Actually laughed. Because what else do you even do? I held up her phone. Then said, "I read everything." That changed her face. Not guilty. Not sorry. Just calculating. Fast. Like she was deciding which lie to use. Then she crossed her arms and said, "You invaded my privacy?" I stared at her. She repeated it louder. "You went through my laptop and my phone?" Ryan looked wildly uncomfortable. I said, "You're sleeping with him." And Emily rolled her eyes. Actually rolled her eyes. Then, "You always do this." I genuinely thought I misheard. I asked what that even meant. And she said, "You overreact. You create drama before hearing the full story." I couldn't believe it. Ryan tried to say something. Emily cut him off. Then she looked directly at me and said, "I came here to talk." I asked why he was half naked. Her answer, "He spilled beer on himself." I wish I was joking. I asked why she told him. "Worth the wait," she said. It was flirting. It meant nothing. I asked about 5 months of hotel rooms and lies. And then she dropped this. "I didn't tell you because you're emotionally exhausting." That one hit like a punch. Then Ryan, who had been silent the whole time, said quietly, "Emily." And Emily snapped at him. "Not now." Then another voice came from down the hallway. A woman. Yelling, "Ryan?" Ryan went white. Completely white. He whispered, "Oh no." And then a woman rounded the corner. And immediately saw all 3 of us standing there. Part 4:15. I thought confronting my wife was the worst part, then Ryan's wife showed up. Everything happened so fast I barely processed any of it. The woman came around the corner holding a hotel key card and looking furious. She locked eyes with Ryan, then with Emily, then with me, and immediately understood enough. You could see it on her face. That split second where confusion turns into something much uglier. Ryan looked like he wanted the floor to swallow him. Claire! That's all he got out. She ignored him completely, looked straight at Emily, and asked, "Are you serious?" Emily, somehow, still had attitude. Still. She crossed her arms tighter and said, "I think you need to calm down." Claire laughed. Not normal laughter. That awful kind where someone is already beyond angry. Then she looked at me. "Are you her husband?" I nodded. And she just exhaled like all the air left her body. Then she quietly said, "God." Ryan tried stepping toward her. "Claire, listen." She shoved him back. Hard. And yelled, "Don't touch me." Hallway doors started opening. People peeking out. Someone down the hall literally stepped back inside. Emily looked embarrassed now. Not guilty. Just annoyed that she was being seen. She hissed at Claire. "This isn't helping." Claire turned on her instantly. "You've been sleeping with my husband for months." Emily shrugged. Actually shrugged. And said, "Your marriage problems aren't my responsibility." I still can't believe that came out of her mouth. Claire's face changed completely. Like pure rage. Ryan started panicking. He kept saying please, and, "Let me explain." Then Claire looked at me again. And asked, "Did you know?" I said no. She nodded. Then pulled out her phone. And showed me messages. Photos. Hotel receipts. Calendar screenshots. Apparently she'd suspected Ryan for weeks. She followed him tonight. That's why she was there. And the screenshots went back 8 months. Not 5. 8. I felt dizzy. Emily saw the screen. And immediately tried damage control. "Those don't prove anything." Claire stared at her. Then Emily added, "People exaggerate things when they're angry." Ryan whispered, "Emily, stop." She snapped at him. "No, because this is ridiculous." Ridiculous. That word. Like all of this was inconvenient drama happening to her. Claire suddenly asked me, "Did she ever mention Miami?" I frowned. Emily instantly cut in. "No. Too fast. Way too fast." Claire held up another screenshot. Ryan writing, "Can't wait for Miami again. Last time was insane." Emily had replied with a heart. My stomach dropped. Because Emily told me that weekend she was visiting her sister. I'd stayed home fixing our sink. Sent her photos. She told me she missed me. She literally texted, "Love you. Wish you were here." While she was apparently with him. I looked at Emily. And for the first time all night she actually looked nervous. I asked, "Miami?" She started talking fast. "It wasn't like that." I asked if she lied about her sister. She said, "You don't understand." I asked if she slept with him there. She didn't answer. Which was answer enough. Ryan suddenly admitted, "It was more than once." Claire made this sound like she'd been punched. Emily whipped toward him. "What are you doing?" And Ryan, finally, looked furious. He yelled, "I'm tired of covering for you." Everything stopped. Even Claire. Emily stared at him like she wanted to kill him. Ryan kept going. Said Emily pushed for hotels. Emily planned fake work trips. Emily told him she was, basically done, with me. Emily promised she'd leave after. The timing was right. That hit harder than anything yet. Because apparently while I was still trying to save my marriage, she was planning an exit behind my back. Emily screamed at him to shut up. Then she turned to me. And instantly switched tone. Voice softer. Eyes watering. Like flipping a switch. "Please don't listen to him." And that hurt even worse. Because she'd lied so much she could change personalities in seconds. Cold. Cruel. Then suddenly vulnerable. Whatever worked. I stared at her. And realized I genuinely didn't know this woman standing in front of me. Then my phone rang. My younger sister. At almost midnight. Over and over. I almost ignored it. But something in my gut told me to answer. And the first thing she said was, "Where are you? Emily just called Mom crying and told everyone you hit her." May 15th. She accused me of hitting her before I even got home. The second my sister said that, my entire body went cold. I stepped away from the room and into the hallway. "What?" My sister sounded panicked. "She called Mom like 10 minutes ago crying hysterically. Said you found out she was talking to a coworker, lost it, followed her, and got physical." For a second I couldn't even speak. I just looked back toward the hotel room. Emily was standing there with tears in her eyes. Ryan looked wrecked. Claire looked furious. And suddenly it all made sense. The tears. The tone change. The performance. She was already setting the narrative before I could even open my mouth. I asked my sister exactly what Emily told them. Apparently, she and Ryan were working late. I became paranoid. Showed up screaming. Grabbed her arm. Cornered her. She barely got away. My mother had apparently started crying. My sister didn't buy it. That's why she called me. I remember feeling something break in my chest. Not because she cheated. Not because she lied. Because she moved that fast. Within minutes. Like she had rehearsed it. I walked back toward the room. Held up my phone. And asked Emily, "Did you tell my family I hit you?" She didn't even blink. She wiped her face. Then said, "I told them I felt unsafe." I asked if she told them I got physical. Her answer, "You were aggressive." I laughed once. Just out of disbelief. Claire immediately stepped in. "No, he wasn't." Emily ignored her. And looked at me like I was unstable. Then said, "Look at you right now." Like standing there heartbroken somehow proved her point. Ryan finally spoke up. "No. That's not what happened." Emily turned on him so fast I almost flinched. "Stay out of it." He actually raised his voice. "For once, stop lying." Then he looked at me and Claire. And started talking. Fast. Like he'd hit some breaking point. He admitted the affair started after a work dinner. Emily made the first move. She kissed him first. She told him we were, basically roommates. That I was controlling. Emotionally distant. That divorce was already inevitable. He believed her. Or wanted to. Then Claire asked if he loved Emily. And Ryan just stood there. Silent. Emily answered for him. Obviously. Ryan looked at her and said, "No." That landed hard. Even Emily looked stunned. Ryan kept going. Said the lying got out of control? Emily wanted constant attention. Constant secrecy. Constant validation. He said every time he tried to back away she'd pull him back. Or threaten to expose everything. Or say I was too weak to handle the truth. Hearing that out loud hurt more than I expected. Emily started yelling over him. Calling him pathetic. Calling Claire dramatic. Calling me obsessed. Then her phone rang. My mom. Emily looked at the screen. And immediately answered. Put on the most shaky voice I've ever heard. "Hi." Instant tears. Like an actress. "I'm okay." Pause. "I just need space." Then she looked directly at me while saying, "No, please don't make this worse." I have never felt rage like that. My hands were shaking. Claire heard enough. Walked over. Took the phone straight out of Emily's hand. Emily screamed. Claire said, "Hi. I'm Ryan's wife. Your daughter-in-law is sleeping with my husband and nobody here has touched her." Then handed me the phone. My mom was silent. Then, "What?" I explained everything. Quickly. My mom went from scared to furious in under 30 seconds. Meanwhile, Emily grabbed her purse and stormed out of the room. Ryan called after her. She ignored him. I followed her into the parking lot. Not close. Just enough to stop her leaving with another lie. She spun around beside her car. Face completely different now. No tears. No sadness. Just pure anger. And she said something I'll probably never forget. "You just ruined your own life." I stared at her. And she stepped closer. Voice low. Cold. "If you had stayed home tonight, you could have kept pretending and we both would have been happier." Then she got in the car, slammed the door, and sped out of the parking lot. I stood there stunned, trying to process what she just said. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One text. A screenshot. From Emily's credit card statement. Sent by Claire. And one hotel charge from 2 months ago jumped out immediately. Because it wasn't in our city. It was charged in the town where my dad had his heart surgery. While I was sitting in a hospital room alone, thinking my wife was stuck at work. Part 615. While I was with my dad in the hospital, she was in a hotel with him. That screenshot absolutely destroyed me. I just stared at my phone in the hotel parking lot. Hotel receipt. Date. Time. Her card. Ryanstown. And I knew instantly what day it was. Because I remembered every second of that day. My dad had emergency heart surgery. I drove him in before sunrise. Sat in that freezing waiting room for hours. Texted Emily updates the entire day. She kept replying. "I'm stuck at work. Wish I could be there. Tell him I'm thinking about him." At one point I even called her because I was panicking. My dad had complications. I was barely holding it together. She answered whispering. Said she was in a meeting. Told me she loved me. Told me to breathe. Told me everything would be okay. Then apparently she hung up. And went back upstairs to Ryan. That realization physically hurt. I leaned against my car because my knees felt weak. Claire came outside a minute later. She looked wrecked too. Eyes red. Mascara smudged. She quietly asked if I was okay. I laughed because obviously I wasn't. Then we just stood there. Two strangers whose lives got blown apart in the same hallway. She showed me more. Apparently Ryan had a separate email. He and Emily booked rooms together under fake business names. She had screenshots. Dates. Reservations. Photos of receipts. And the timeline got uglier every minute. Not 8 months. Almost a full year. Emily had been cheating nearly the entire last year. Birthdays. Family dinners. Holiday weekends. Everything. And then Claire found one message. One I wish I never read. Ryan had texted Emily during my dad's surgery. "Shouldn't you be with your husband?" Emily replied. "He'll survive a waiting room for a few hours. Then, I'd rather be here with you anyway." I felt sick. Actually sick. I had to walk away and throw up behind my car. Not dramatic. Literally. Claire just stood there quietly. Didn't say anything. Which somehow made it worse. Because there was nothing to say. Around 1 a.m. Ryan came outside. Looked miserable. He apologized. To both of us. Said he knew he deserved whatever came next. Said he should have ended it months ago. Claire asked him one question. "Did you love her?" He hesitated. Then said, "I thought I did. Then. But I don't think I ever knew who she actually was." That hit hard because I felt exactly the same. Ryan admitted Emily lied to him too. Constantly. Told him I was cheating. Told him I was cruel. Told him we were already separating. Told him she'd move out. Soon. Every excuse possible. She kept everyone on different versions of reality. Then Ryan remembered something. And his face changed. He looked at me. And asked, "Did Emily ever tell you why she left work early last Thursday?" I said she told me she had food poisoning. He went pale. Then said, she came to my apartment. But she left suddenly because she said she had another emergency. I frowned. Claire frowned too. Because Emily definitely told me she was violently sick. Then Ryan slowly said, she was meeting someone else. Silence. He pulled out his phone. Opened messages. Found one. Emily texted him. Can't stay. Running late for dinner. He'd asked, with who? And she answered, don't ask questions you don't want answers to, winky face. Claire looked stunned. I felt numb. Even Ryan looked sick. Because apparently she wasn't just juggling me and him. There might have been someone else. Or multiple. I didn't even know anymore. At around 1:30 I drove home. Alone. The house felt wrong the second I walked in. Too quiet. Too empty. Her shoes were by the door. Her jacket on the chair. Normal life everywhere. Like none of this had happened. Then I noticed drawers open upstairs. Closet half empty. Bathroom cabinet cleared out. She'd already been there. She'd come home before me. Taken bags. And left. But she left one thing behind. A folded envelope on my pillow. My name written on it. In her handwriting. Inside was a short note. Just 3 lines. You forced this. Don't contact me for a while. And if you tell people your version first, I'll make sure they hear mine. Part July 15th. The note she left wasn't even the worst thing waiting for me. I read that note 3 times. At first I genuinely thought I misunderstood it. Because after everything that happened, after getting caught in a hotel room, after months of lying, she was threatening me. Like somehow I created this. Like I was the dangerous one. My hands were shaking so badly I had to sit down on the edge of the bed. Her side of the closet was half empty. The bathroom looked stripped. Perfume gone. Makeup bag gone. Suitcases gone. She'd planned for this. Or at least she adapted fast enough to make it look like she had. That messed with me. Because while I was still in shock, she was already moving pieces around. I barely slept. Mostly sat in the dark staring at my phone.